Hello, I'm Amara Jones. Welcome to Caffeine TV, your daily video news brief. Here to take you through 3 headline numbers in just 3 minutes, giving you a different take on everything from housing policy to the Real Housewives. The first number up today is 100, as in the number of Americans who were possibly exposed to the Ebola virus due to the failure of healthcare workers to notice that Thomas Duncan of Liberia was actually sick when he went into the hospital to ask for their help. Now, this is distressing because the CDC has said for months that they are ready for Ebola in the United States, that when it got here, it would be contained, that all of the healthcare workers had gotten guidelines and knew what to look for and would be Johnny on the spot with anyone who came in showing symptoms. Well, that didn't happen in this case, so much so that when Duncan went into the hospital and said, "Hi, I just got off a plane from West Africa and I have these symptoms of Ebola," was sent home with a bottle of antibiotics that don't even work on viruses. And his girlfriend, who's been quarantined in her apartment due to orders by the governor and actually the federal government, had to call CNN to ask someone to help clean up the infectious material that she's surrounded by in her apartment because she's trying not to get sick. Well, earlier this week, I said that we shouldn't necessarily freak out because of Ebola's arrival in the United States. Well, maybe I was drinking the night before, because that appears to be a tad wrong. But instead of panic, maybe we should panic-ish, or instead of going to code red, go to code pinkish, because when it comes to Ebola's arrival in the United States, the CDC is looking an awful lot like the Secret Service. The next number up today is 76, as in 76 million. That's the number of accounts that JP Morgan said that banking and credit card behemoths said were hacked in the accounts that it administers. Now, this isn't the only hacking incident that we have had to deal with this year. There were the 120 million accounts at Target. Over the summer, there were the 1.2 billion people who had their accounts names and passwords stolen by a Russian syndicate, and some of those accounts were hacked. Now, all these things have in common the same thing: hacking. The irony is that financial institutions actually know how to cut down on hacking a lot, but they're arguing amongst themselves about who to pay for it. But while they argue about their bottom line, our wallets suffer. Well, they're going to have to do something soon, because instead of using Amazon Prime, we're all going to start using cowrie shells. I wonder how many dollars in a cowrie shell, or cowrie shells in a dollar. I don't know, we'll figure it out. The last number up today is 100, and yes, it's the same number that we began with, but in a totally different way and place. That's the number of black boys that Paula Deen and Steve Harvey say that they will mentor, help guide, or I don't know, do something with. Now, I don't know about you, but the last person that I would want to mentor my black or brown child is someone who professed nostalgia for the time that they would have been enslaved and in chains, nor the person who had made millions off of stealing the recipes from the likes of their mothers and grandmothers and then paying them $9 an hour while they lived in trailers. Well, this all just points to the fact that, as we learned last summer, Paula Deen's empire is built on a fraud, but she's not the only one in public life who has that problem. As we learned, the same is true of the Judices, of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Joe and Teresa, who were sentenced to fraud yesterday. So let's just hope that in all of the values and good things and noblesse oblige comeback that Paula Deen is engaging in right now, that the lesson of deception won't be one of the things that she imparts to those children.